My dad used to have an old saying, said, son, when you work in the coal mines, base your living on 3 days a week. He said, because the life that you work in the coal mines, that's what it'll average. He said, if you're lucky enough to work 4, take that 4th day and save it. If you work 5 days, said take the 5th day and give it to the poor who's not working 5 days. So I tried to live by that.
Put on your knee pads and your safety toes. We're going to the coal mines where the coal is riding on a lizard in the 30-inch cold. See the cables sparkling, watch the little wheels roll. Now Lord have mercy on the miner's soul. Down on his poor knees, 30-inch cold. Timber up the headings, draw the wedges tight, or your wife and children won't see you tonight. Spread out a little rough dust, spread out a little more, to keep that coal dust on the miner's floor. Riding on a lizard in the 30-inch cold, see the cables sparkling, watch little wheels.
The first time I ever worked in the mines, I probably worked about 3 years before I was laid off. But I changed mines. So then I probably worked a total of 3 more years before I was laid off. Then I went to another mines. And then I got laid off every 6 months, just like the weather changed. But I thought to myself, man, I ain't gonna be making this big bucks right now. So that puts a strain on you, because I wanted my 2 daughters, both of them, to have the best. I want them to have the best sports cars. They did. I want them to have the best clothes. They did. I want them to have anything they wanted to have, because when I was a kid growing up, I didn't have it. And so what it made me feel is, if it made me feel inadequate until I got my head on level again and said, look, sometimes it gets 4th and long. You have to back up and punt, but you'll get the ball again. So that's what basically happened. It made me feel inadequate.
I worked for 14 different companies. Started out with Bethlehem Steel up in Jenkins, Kentucky. I worked for them 10 years. At the present, I'm out of work right now. I've been the type of person, I've been off one time from injury, which was a broke toe. And of all the times I've been in the mines, I've never missed work for being sick or in that condition, you know. It hurts my pride to be laid off.
When you've had anybody, and when anyone has had a security that has been seemingly very strong, a very strong security, and then all of a sudden they wake up one morning and that security is taken away from them, then there is a certain amount of fear in the people, and then a certain amount of distrust for those who are in charge, and it causes problems with trusting the people that you work for, that you do have a sound job.
Married my son's father when I was 14 years old, quit school in the 9th grade, and my son was born when I was 16, and I knew that I was going to have to work and try to help support him. So when I applied for the job in the mines, when I was actually the week that I took my training, I was only 17 years old. So anyway, my first day as a miner was my 18th birthday. I hired in at the VP number 4 mine and worked from July until November of 1980, and I got laid off then, was laid off for a little over 3 months, and was recalled to VP 6 mine, and I've been there up until February of this year, and I got laid off then. February, actually the layoff date was February 17th of this year.
It's very depressing to be out of work. I mean, after you work 22 years in the mines and you don't have pretty good income, it gets very bad. You worry from payday to payday. You worry about your bank payments, your house payments. Of course, I got a car payment too, and You think you're all right till you lay down at night, and it comes right back to you again. You know, you start worrying about it. I have trouble sometimes not sleeping, you know, because I'm worried about the bills and stuff. It gets on you, bothers you real bad.
One of the hardest things is when you are able to provide for you and yours without any help from anyone whatsoever, but when you have to rely on somebody else being able to help you, whether it be in the government agencies or whether it be in the insurance departments and stuff, it's a problem now. I believe all people have should have just a little bit of pride anyway. It can get too big, but when you're able to take care of yourself and then you have to think about somebody else helping you, then it bothers you a little bit.
Actually, for the last 3 months, I've been majorly depressed, and you know, it's put me in a financial situation that since I've been 18 years old, I hadn't been in. You know, when the money stops coming, you know, I draw a little unemployment, but it's nowhere near what I make working. So you get to thinking about that, and it's stressful. And you know, I'm looking at the fact I'll be 36 years old next month. Well, here in a couple of weeks, actually. And you know, like I said, they're supposed to call us back to work. They said it was a temporary layoff, less than 6 months. So in the 17th of August, it'll be 6 months. So if they're going to stick to that deal, they've got to put us back in the next couple of weeks. And even if they do that, the life of our mines is probably another 5 to 6 years. So I'm looking at being around 40, 42 years old, having to probably find a new career, because the mining industry has declined so much over the last 15 years. They've closed so many mines, and there's so many miners laid off that it's basically impossible to find a job in the mines now.
I think that was the worst time of my life, other than when my mother died. I know it was. I know that was the worst time of my life. When the doctor said, "Steve, you can never go back to work, period, especially in a coal mine," then I guess I cried, because you know, coal mining is a part of living in this area. It's a part of saying, you know, I've made something, I've built something, I've got a nice house, you know, I've got stature in the community. People come down and visit you, and everybody's like family. And then when a doctor says you can't go back, you lose part of your life.
It's a hard thing to deal with, because like I said, you know, for 18 years I've been self-sufficient. I've taken care of myself. I've paid all my bills and never had to ask anybody for anything. And now I'm in a situation that if I can't go back to work over there, or if I can't soon find some other type of employment, then you know, I'm going to have to ask my son for help, and I really don't want to do that.
When I was a curly-headed baby, sitting proud upon my daddy's knee, he said, "Son, you go to school and learn your letters. Don't be no dusty miner like me."
I was born and raised in the mouth of Hazard Holler, with the coal cars roaring and rumbling by my door. But now they're standing in a rusty row all empty, and the L&N don't stop here no more.
I used to think my daddy was a black man, with scrip enough to buy the company store. But now he goes downtown with his pockets empty, his face is white as February snow.
I was born and raised in the mouth of Hazard Holler, with the coal cars roaring and rumbling by my door.
Go back and get the papers from about 1987 to 1988, and look how many houses was up for sale by the bank. Drive by the bank, see how many cars was up for sale by the bank. So they lost it, because you can't survive on minimum wage, and that's all there is here.
I'm going to have to find another job shortly. the money's going to run out. So I'm going to have to look here in the next couple of weeks for new employment. You know, I've gotten by for the last 5 months, hoping that, you know, that they are going to actually call me back. And see, I had medical insurance that was still in effect, and the jobs that I've looked for employment, which the Virginia Employment Commission requires you to do, I've looked for employment since I've been off, and there's no jobs around home. You know, there's nothing there. You can't even hardly find well, actually, I haven't been able to find a job at a fast food restaurant.
It's aggravating. It's disturbing. You worry about putting food on the table, and if your wife and sons are trying to find a job or working, you worry about them being out on the road, and insurance, you don't have no medical bills, nobody to take care of you, got to pay them yourself. It's hard to live without an income.
Bad thing is I don't have a weekly payroll coming in. I don't have the insurance for my family that I once had, so therefore that makes a big difference. And then at the same time, my ability to go out and get a job somewhere else is I can't do that. So I've got one recourse, and that's try to get what I can while I can from where I did work, see. And because of my age, that makes it harder. If I was 5 or 6 years older than what I am right now, I would have no problem whatsoever with getting what I feel would be due coming to me.
It pulls at me, you know, in a number of ways that, you know, it's, like I said, it's just been something that I've done for so long and just come so accustomed to it that I'll really miss it. You know, there's no two ways about it.
Traveling on down that coal town road, hey, listen to my rubber tires whine. Goodbye to Buckeye and white sycamore, I'm leaving you behind. Well, I've been a coal man all my life, laying down track in the hole. Got a back like an ironwood bent by the wind, blood veins as blue as a coal, blood veins as blue as a coal. Somebody said that's a strange tattoo you have on the side of your head. I said that's the blue mark left by the coal, just a little more and I'd been dead. But I love the rumble and I love the dark.